Yo, what's good, everybody? In the chat, just let me know if you can hear me. We're here to talk about Jaquiski Tartt, signed. Young man that I was pretty high on, that I said early on in free agency felt like would be a very, very good fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. With that said, Jaquiski Tartt is officially a Philadelphia Eagle. So, hey, I know this is probably not the veteran guy that some of you guys were looking for, but you know what I mean? He's a good ball player. He's coming off a pretty disappointing way to end the season, to where I think, judging from what he said in press conferences, he feels as if he's responsible for the 49ers kind of blowing that Rams game in the NFC Championship. So, feels like a guy that has a lot to prove. And, it's going to be kind of fun to see how he's going to fit into this group of guys here, because I think Marcus Epps is definitely going to see a lot of playing time. I don't have any doubts about Marcus Epps seeing the field and playing a ton. I think that, guys like Anthony Harris are still in the mix. I don't know if he'll be the second or the third safety. I mean, I tend to wait to see how these battles kind of shape themselves out in camp. Tart's entering in here. Tart's a really good football player. I like Jaquiski Tartt a lot, and we're going to get into some of the aspects of his game that I think are going to be exciting for the Eagles. And then, you still got young guys like Kayvon Wallace in here. We still got Reed Blankenship, who was an undrafted rookie free agent. So we got some young guys that kind of bolster up the competition. We got special teams, kind of players on the back end there as well. So this is definitely a signing that I felt like might be coming down the line. I said that I'd probably go into OTAs and just kind of see where this young group of safeties were. And then I'd make my assessment if I was the front office and I was the coaching staff post OTAs, and I think they pretty much did exactly that. So let's get into a little bit about Landon Collins, or why they wouldn't go with a guy like Landon Collins. I'm going to be honest with you guys, Cody. Landon Collins is horrible in coverage. To me, that would have been a big pass. Landon Collins is just not good enough in coverage. He's a linebacker that's undersized, that has the the title of a safety. Not saying he's not impactful along the line of scrimmage, but you're one-dimensional with a guy like Landon Collins. Why, with a guy like Jaquiski Tartt, you can do what Gannon has been talking about all offseason, which, Gannon's kind of had this whole thing about, like, being able to, be able to flex guys, move guys, walk them in the box when he wants to walk them in the box, play a guy deep, and then be able to switch the roles of what safety he wants to do that. And I think Jaquiski Tartt gives you that ability. I think, you look at a guy like Anthony Harris, who's tough as nails. Anthony Harris is not the biggest dude in the world. I mean, he's got, good arm reach, good wingspan for a safety, but he's not the 200-pound kind of like safety that you would think he is. He's more about like a $180 to $185. So, I mean, to me, I just think this gives you another guy that can be, he can be versatile. He can give you the ability to be, multiple with your safeties and with your looks. We'll see. I mean, look, everyone's got to get on the field, and guys got to earn their spot. I don't think any of these safeties are guaranteed anything. They're all on pretty easy to get out of deals here. Even Anthony Harris, who has plenty of experience within the system, having worked with Gannon all the way back in Minnesota, way back way. I don't think any of these dudes are still guaranteed, though. I still think every one of them has to fight their way onto the roster. Let me see what's up. What's up, Stu? How you doing, bro? Alex, what's good, man? How you doing, man? Prime time, Stephen Joyce, what's good, buddy? Nina, how you doing? Cassius, how you doing? You can hear. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. Cedric, what's good, man? Randall the Handle, what's good, buddy? BK Mosby, what's good, man? Richie MC, how you doing, bro? Cody, what's good, man? R Gravy, what's good? Richie MC, what's going on? Am I missing anybody? Preach, what's up, bro? Ewing, what's good, man? Just trying to make sure I got everybody in here. Jason, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? Jonathan Quick, what's good, man? What's up, Alex? He might be listed at that on the Eagles site, but you got to remember how often that's updated. And the measurements I saw, Alex, he's not quite that size. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the guy personally, and it's not like I'm sitting there with a scale, but everything I'm hearing is he's not 200 pounds. What's good, Samuel? How you doing, man? So, what I love about Jaquiski Tartt in particular is like when you look over his film, guys. So it's the ability, like I said, guys, to play in the box. Play in the box with this young man. I mean, pass rush ability. He can get to the pass rusher. He can do all the things you want to see. He can do all the things that you're looking for from this position. He gives you the ability to flex and do whatever you want to do here. He can play over the top, as I was talking about before, about his ability to be able to not only play in the box, but he can be the guy that also plays deep and allows you to play Epps up on the line of scrimmage if that's what you want to do, or to play Anthony Harris up on the line of scrimmage if that's what you want to do. He gives you that ability to do both things. I mean, we can see him playing on the back half. The young man has tremendous athleticism. He kind of gives you the ability to do a little bit of everything here. In addition to that, guys, I mean, he's got good instincts. He sees things. He shoots the gaps. He gets in there. He makes plays. I'm a big fan of it, man. This is a signing I wanted to happen a ways back, and I knew you guys were probably going to be like, yeah, Gates making a video about this because Gates been talking about Tart for like 2-3 months saying that the Eagles should sign him. But he does. I mean, he can come up and he can play inside the flats. He can do everything you want him to do. I mean, he's got the physical nature to his game. Now, I will say, there's always a reason why a guy is available. There's always a reason. No guy just comes on the market just for the heck of coming on the market. And I will say that with Jaquiski Tartt, when you look over Jaquiski Tartt, now you say his first name, guys. But when you look over Tart's career, you will see that he's been injured quite a bit. There has been a lot of injuries. There's a lot of things like that we have to get, make sure that with our approach and our medical staff and, we got to keep this guy healthy. That's long story short. We need to keep Tartt healthy. But I do think that this is a pretty good signing, guys. I'm pretty happy with this signing. I think he's the exact type of player we need to bring in here. Guy can come up and he can defend the run as well. I mean, for me, he's exactly what I think this defense really needs in terms of having a 3 safety look here. And then you still got a guy like Kayvon Wallace that I'm not necessarily writing out. So, yeah, man. I mean, I definitely think that I think we're making small little incremental, moves to make this team a better football team. Jonathan said he's ready for the season. It's going to be a great one. Yeah, I get the same feeling, too, that we're going to have a lot of success this year and things are going to go really, really well, man. Cassie said, what are your thoughts about the battle for QB2 between Minshew and Strong? That's kind of tough to determine without contact, to be quite honest, guys. I mean, that's not an easy thing to make any kind of real judgment on right now, Cassius. Like, I have to see these guys with a pass rush in their face, how they're kind of playing. And when I say these guys, we're talking about Carson Strong. I mean, we know what Minshew can do. We know what Minshew's limitations are. It also just depends upon what the offer is going to be for Minshew. You're clearly not going to put him in a division rival. I mean, I don't know where the Dallas Cowboy rumors came from, but that would shock the crap out of me if we did something foolish like that. But, I mean, if there's an opportunity for that young man to potentially get a starting gig somewhere because of an injury, and you feel like Carson Strong, give him a few weeks, give him a chance to kind of catch up to the speed of kind of getting the playbook and getting acclimated to the depth of where these guys need to be and hitting those marks with your dropbacks to link up with the receiver's routes, all that kind of stuff. If he's starting to show you that you think he has the ability to be one of these guys that just gets the game from an early standpoint, then of course. But that has to be in place first, guys. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be real careful with that. What's up, Mun? How you doing, man? He says, the best Eagles YouTuber. Gives real information, not BS from Twitter. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Great depth. Yeah, I think the depth at safety, you're right, Dreezy. I think the depth at safety is very, very good right now. 100% agree with you on that, man. Alex said he thinks Minshew is QB number 2 and Strong QB number 3, unless they end up trading Minshew if another team makes a great offer. Yeah, I don't think you can really determine anything yet until you see a pass rush in Carson Strong's face. You got to see him playing with the speed of an NFL game. And mind you, preseason is still not truly the speed of the NFL, but it's going to give you a lot more than like OTAs will. And then also like, joint practices, stuff like that. If he even gets a lot of reps there, he may not spend a lot of reps on him in joint practice. That's the other side to it. But you'll be able to see him in training camp. He will get reps in training camp, just maybe not the joint practices. It just depends on the coaching staff and how many times they want to put their threes out there and how many snaps if they want to give them snaps with the twos, Minshew maybe with the ones. I highly doubt they're going to do that, though. I would guarantee you, it seems like to me Hurts is going to take every single snap with the ones. I don't think you'll see like, we're going to give him a rest. I doubt that's going to happen this year. Our Gravy said everywhere said he's 215. Are you talking about Tart? Yeah, Tart's a big dude, Our Gravy. We're talking about Anthony Harris, not Tart. Tart's built a little different. Alex said he thinks our run defense is going to be one of the best in the league. Gannon really on the hot seat now? I don't know if I'd say he's on the hot seat, but he better produce, Just Mike. He better produce because this is clearly a good enough defense to be top 12 in the league. There should be, I understand that there's still adjustment periods. I still get he's a young play caller. You do have to produce, man. This has got to be a top third of the league type defense when it's all said and done. Mun said he's a starter, bro. He's the best safety on our team already. I always say wait until you see guys, man. In camp, got to keep in mind, Mun, he's only played with the 49ers. And that is a very particular scheme. So until we see guys in camp and how they line up, yes, I think he's the most talented and he's also very experienced. But got to see it in camp. Richie said, who are the 49ers replacing him with? I don't know, Richie. I mean, they opted to basically not make a strong enough offer for him. I mean, I think the Eagles only signed him for like a 1-year deal, so it's not like the 49ers probably couldn't have matched or beat that offer if they truly wanted him back. So I'm really not sure what they did, Richie. I'd have to look over the roster, but I can't really say. Tart is a legit player. Tart's a good player, yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's had a lot of injuries over the time that he's been, in the league and stuff like that. What's up, Master Bean? How you doing, man? He said the Eagles don't practice, so no chance he gets injured in the offseason. What's up, NFC East Beast? How you doing, bro? Irish Steve said he's a decent death piece, but I still think Epps deserves to start. He earned his wings, in my opinion. My early gut instinct here, Irish Steve, is the way that Gannon will probably use his safeties. Whether you are theoretically the 2 or the 3 at the safety position, I think you're going to get a ton of playing time. I think that all 3 of those dudes are going to see the field quite a bit. What's up, Victor? How you doing, bro? He says, does Tart start? Hard to say, man. I mean, he's got a pedigree coming in. The pedigree's there, but he's got to learn the playbook. He's got to get involved into the scheme. You got to see how he fits in the scheme. I mean, there's a lot of things you cannot really determine. You know what I mean? Until you see something. Hufanga? I can't remember how you say that guy. The dude, was he from USC, I think? Jason said, doing good. Like the signing. How much is the contract, you think? Probably not very much over a vet minimum. I would probably guess at this point because, you're kind of into the middle part of June. So I would probably imagine it's probably a little over the veteran minimum, which will still be a decent contract because, I do think Tart's pretty close to 10-plus years if he's not actually over 10 years in the league. So, yeah. What's up, Cameron? How you doing, bro? He says, is this dude good? He's decent. I'm not, temper expectations here, but he's certainly a lot better than what the back half of this, safety position looked like. And I think he's right there saying that he's just as good, and I think in some ways he's more versatile than like an Anthony Harris, although I think Anthony Harris is definitely tough around the line. He's tough around the line of scrimmage. But I don't think Anthony Harris is the same athlete that Tart is. So, I mean, I'm not going to crown anybody anything, Cameron, until we see it on the field. But I will say when I was looking over the options at safety early on in free agency, and I was really kind of looking in and studying film, I liked what San Francisco did with Tart. And I liked the way that Tart responded to, like being in a bad situation, guys. I mean, it's not easy to feel like you're the guy that cost your team an opportunity to play in the Super Bowl because you dropped what should have been a pretty easy interception. I mean, we can all talk realistically. It's bigger than just that single aspect of things, but you know what I'm saying. Nonetheless, that's how he felt coming out. So, he approached it as saying like, "Yo, I feel responsible and like I want an opportunity to redeem myself." Alex said Tart has been starting games for the Niners since 2015. He isn't a new guy on the scene. You should know of him. Yeah, to an extent, Alex, but to be fair, Tart's missed a ton of time. So, I mean, I can understand why people may not be overly familiar with him. Does he start at safety? Victor, I don't know, guys. I mean, he's got to be on the field, guys. I mean, he's played his entire career, to my knowledge, with the 49ers. So, there's always guys that kind of come in here. You got, look, the 49ers were willing to walk away from him. That's always something you got to take into consideration. But at this point in June, to be able to sign a guy with this kind of pedigree, it's not a bad thing, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a good thing. Like, I like the possibilities and the prospect that the Eagles are walking out here with this caliber of player, this late into June. Like, this is a solid signing, man. This is a really solid signing for the Eagles. What's up, Richie? Say, any home biased? If the boys sign him, what would be your thoughts of him going up against Goddard? He went up against Goddard already, Richie. He went up against Goddard week 2 of last season. No, I mean, Richie, I was already long on the record about him quite some time ago. I had already talked about him. So, I mean, this is a guy that I said was a fairly good player. I mean, he's a solid player. Yeah, I mean, Alex, they should be a top 12 defense, but you know what I'm saying? Don't count your chickens for the hatch, if you will. You get what I mean? Preach Facts said Bradbury and Slade need to be 5 off the ball maximum. We'll see what they do, guys. I mean, to me, it's really about how, like, I don't necessarily have a problem with playing off ball in terms of your coverage. Like, guys do it all the time. It's about how you read and you react and how you can read a receiver to know when he's going to get vertical on you and when he's going to sit it down. I thought that we had deficiencies last year, and I thought that there were times to where, the Chargers game, I think, is just a telltale sign one to where you got a 3rd and 7 and you're playing like 7.5, 8 yards off the receiver. Of course, all Guyton has to do is come out, what they call with rapid feed or feet fire, make you think he's getting vertical and just sit it down on you or just cut an out route on you, and that's an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback and the receiver. I mean, that play stands out on my mind as being like, what are we doing here, guys? We got them backed up against pretty much on their own goal line here. All you need to do is make a stop on a 3rd and 7. I mean, come on. There's no way you should be this far off your guy. It didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make sense to me at all. I didn't understand it. What's up, Philly Fan D? I appreciate the super chat, buddy. He said, love your videos about Hurts. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning into those videos, guys, and keeping up with me. I appreciate that, guys. Edward wants to know how much did they sign him for. I'm not sure they released the contract details yet, Edward. I'm not really sure, but my gut instinct is that it's probably around the veteran minimum. I mean, perhaps he got more than a veteran minimum, but being this long on the market, mid-June, probably somewhere around the veteran minimum, which would still be, like I said, it'd be somewhat substantial because you're talking about a guy that, if he was drafted in 15, that means he's got about, this would be his 7th, 8th year in the league, somewhere in that area, guys. So, I mean, that vet minimum deal would be worth a little bit of money. What's up, Drew? How you doing, buddy? I appreciate the comment, man. He says, I think Anthony Harris will end up being our 3rd safety by the end of the year. Possibly. I think the one thing Anthony Harris has going for him is familiarity with Jonathan Gannon. And if you want, I guess want isn't the right word here, but if you need someone to call the plays, if you need someone to, when I say call the plays, guys, we're referring to just basically relaying the plays and making sure guys are in the right spots. They're lined correctly. Anthony Harris can probably have that green play calling dot on his helmet. He could probably do that for you. Now the question will become, linebackers or the other position where you get a lot of those guys that do that. The problem is if you wear that dot, you need to basically be in for almost every play. So you guys get what I'm saying. It's one of those situations to where, you know what I mean? Yeah, as far as I know, guys, like Alex is saying, I don't think they reported any money yet. BK Mosby said the hope is that having Tart in rotation keeps him healthy. 100% BK, it's a good way of looking at it. That Anthony Harris, Marcus Epps, and Tart, and even Kayvon Wallace, if you're going 4 deep, if Kayvon can kind of step up to be a guy that can play any kind of significant contribution this year and stay healthy himself, hopefully keeping these dudes into a rotation could potentially keep them all somewhat healthy and keep the snap count down low. My bad, guys. So, yeah, good point, Alex. Alex said, according to PFF, he has the 3rd lowest completion rate allowed in coverage among safeties since 2019 at 57.5%. Yeah, he's good around the football. I mean, it was heartbreaking the way he dropped that interception. I get that he was probably he really wants that opportunity to redeem himself. And, that's always a good thing when a guy's motivated like that. What's up, Richie? He said, what happens to Maddox playing time if Tart is a reserve? I think it depends. I think Maddox is going to see the field a lot. I mean, Maddox has got paid. There's still a money aspect to it, Richie. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll affect it. I mean, it may affect your linebacker rotation more than anything. My guy, Philly Fan D, coming in. What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? Alex said, yeah, I'm not too sure how much completion rate really tells you about a safety, but yeah. It tells you a little bit. I mean, you'd have to probably look through those snaps, Alex, and see man coverage snaps to get probably a good feel for how he really is in coverage, but yeah. Drew said, I think this dude is serviceable. Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, I would say at minimum what you're getting is an experienced veteran player that, once he learns the system, that you can trust will be where he's supposed to be. Vincent Wright said, Harris should be the odd man out. You need youth, and 2 guys over 30 isn't good. I mean, I don't think anyone is necessarily completely secure, Vincent, but if you're really looking at this as truly a window to do something special this year, that's the other flip side to it. Philly Fan D said maybe like that Robinson move back in 2017. What's up, Show Enough? How you doing, man? Big Play Slay said Tart is okay. He's not a game breaker, but based off of his film, he's a guy who missed a lot of tackles and most notably that dropped interception in the championship game, but he's a solid player. Yeah, I think at minimal, I think he's a little better than that, to be honest, Big Play Slay, but I think at minimal, you're right. That at minimal, you're getting a solid veteran player that could potentially be really, really good if you allow him to play freely. If you allow him to play freely and he just hits on everything, you got a guy that could be quite good. I agree with you, Big Play Slay, on that aspect. My guy, Philly Mike in the house. What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? He said going into year 7 and that pick he dropped in the 4th quarter of the NFC Championship game is why he was not signed back. I hope they didn't get that reactionary, Mike, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it hurt. No doubt about it, right? Yeah, exactly, Alex. At worst, we just upgraded our depth. Exactly. Yeah. Big Play Slay said, I think Tart's going to be a really good leader, and he fits our scheme, but he's a solid player. Yeah, he's physical player. I think the best way of describing his game is that you're adding more physicality. Maddox is a lock to play slot. Yeah. Maddox is, definitely. I think he's more so talking about if you go big nickel, if you're bringing in 3 safeties, could that impact, the amount of snaps that you play Maddox? I think it's more so what he was getting to. What's up, Cody? He said, what's good, Philly Mike? Just watched your video. Hit that like button as always. Ray, what's up, Ray? How you doing, man? Tart just might work out. I hear you, man. Hey, I'm pretty happy with this signing. This is somebody I really wanted earlier on in the process, so to be able to land him in June, how he's doing, how he thinks, man. That's what I'll just say. How he's doing, how he thinks in the positive way. Just Mike said, Tart is no crumb bum. I like the way you put that, man. A play off the name. I like that. Drew said, last thing to cross off the list, a veteran backup outside cornerback. What's up, ATG TV? How you doing, man? Moreland isn't starting over Maddox. No, I doubt it. I doubt that too. I like Jimmy Moreland. He's a fighter, scrappy kind of guy. Gives you inside, outside versatility, you know. But, yeah, I would feel fairly confident saying that Maddox is just a more talented ball player in general. How did he do against Goddard? I mean, okay, guys. I mean, you got to keep in mind, depending on your coverage and your scheme, you're not necessarily going to be singled up there. I mean, they held us to 11 points, but to be fair, we did have an opportunity to win that game. Cody said, I just hope John Gannon uses everyone to their strength this year. Yeah. Cody, I mean, that's a real fear. I get it. What's up, Big Play? So, yeah, I don't think anyone is necessarily a lock, per se, in the safety room. What's up, BLSG? How you doing, man? He said, I find that Jaquiski Tartt signing to be very good. We added another piece of depth to our safety room, and I just watched a highlight vid on him, and he's good with pass breakups. Yeah, he definitely is active around the ball. Alex was kind of making that point earlier about what they kind of graded him in pass coverage, basically. What's up, Eagles fan? He said, I missed it, Gates. What's your thoughts on the move? I think it's a solid move, guys. I really do. I mean, I was really high on adding Jaquiski Tartt back in February, March timeframe. I was already kind of bringing his name up and talking about him and kind of, saying that's a solid, veteran signing if we can't land a guy like, Tyrann Mathieu, any of those type of guys. I said that, Tartt, good, solid veteran player, physical dude, plays around the line of scrimmage well. He's athletic enough to get over the top. I mean, you got to see him on the field. I don't want to overhype this situation, but I thought this was a very, very solid signing, especially in mid-June. Richie said, who was it that chased Quez down from scoring that touchdown? Was it Tart? I don't know. That's a great question, Richie. I really don't remember because it's been a while ago, you know what I mean? I'd have to go back and watch it again, but it might have been. I mean, Tart's athletic. He's got a lot of athleticism. What's up, Shran? How you doing? Just Mike said, how do you pronounce his first name? I was really hoping you didn't ask me that. I have no clue. Jaquiski? Something like that, guys. I don't know. I heard a few people say it, and I'm not very good at pronouncing that. What's up, 2020? How you doing? My guy Philly Mike with the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you, Mike. He said he catches the INT in the NFC Championship game, and he ain't with us. Funny, Mike. I appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. Red Eagle coming in with the $5 super chat said, "What up, Gate City? I really like the experience we have we have all over the defensive side of the ball now. 100%, man. Very important, right? That we got young dudes that can blend in with the veteran guys. I agree. We're in a very good situation right now. Absolutely." Cody said, "I do believe that Tart was the one that chased him down." What's up, D'Angelo Adams? How you doing, man? Amber Terrell, what's good, man? I love all these bigger defensive backs. The larger wide receivers have been destroying us for a while. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely adding some physicality. No doubt about that. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to skip over some of you guys. I'm trying to get as many people into the conversation as I can. Richie said no Bates or Clark trade, I guess. I mean, I've never say never, Richie, but I would tend to agree with you, right? I mean, I would think that this probably is a good indicator that this is the extent of what we're probably going to do, right? Iris said, I like Tart, and I agree 100%. We are certainly better with him than without. 100%. Yeah, exactly. His injury history is my main concern, but I do like his size. Yeah, I mean, when you play physically, when you're playing physical around the line of scrimmage, you're bound to get banged up a little bit, and that's something to take into account here. What's up, James Cooper? How you doing, man? He says, this is the deepest we've been since 2017. Preach Facts said, TJ Edwards, green dot, first 4 to 6 games, then give it to Dean if applicable. Yeah, you might. Yeah, TJ Edwards is a guy I would say would probably definitely be a candidate for that. I do think over time, over time, I do think that Nakobe Dean is the type of guy who can handle it. I do. I just don't know how fast that transition is going to occur. It's hard to say without seeing these guys in pads actually tackling to the ground. You know what I mean? Like, these are NFL athletes. They're all going to look good in shorts, out there running around without really going into each other like that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to really be in the moment to see kind of like how they're playing with the pads on and when the physicality of the game starts to step in. Eagles fan, that's good news, bro. He said, all my 49er fans in Trash Talk group just said our secondary got exponentially better. Good news. I'll take it. Richie said maybe the Eagles will trade him and a pick to the Bengals for Bates. Be expensive, man. That'd be really expensive, Richie. Bates is going to want to get paid. But he's a good player, man. He's an impact guy. Yeah, Eagles fan said, yeah, the problem with Bates is he's want that bag. Yeah, it's true. Amber said we need good thumpers like him on defense. Yeah, he's a box guy. He can definitely play in the box. He gives you that ability, man. Who's available at running back? Cameron asked. The guy I was interested in was Malcolm Brown. Played formerly with the Rams. He's a guy that gives you some contact balance. I don't really know. Hang on. I guess let me see if I can't. NFL free agency. Let me take a look real quick and just see who might still be available. My fear is that sometimes they don't update these things very quickly. Cameron, sometimes they're a little behind, so I might need some of you guys to spot check behind me just to make sure that if SpoTrack says they're available, that they're actually available. Because sometimes they do lag a few days behind on some of the signings. But let's take a look at running backs real quick, and I'll let you guys know what it says is available. So, Tariq Cohen, who I doubt we'd be interested in. David Johnson's available. Carlos Hyde is available. Carlos Hyde, contact bounce back. Malcolm Brown still available. Contact, bounce back. Latavius Murray, he's still available. Some of these guys are a little older, I'll be honest. Devontae Freeman's still out there. Peyton Barber's available. Wayne Gallman played a couple of years with the Giants. He's available. These aren't, none of these guys are like difference makers, but they could fill a role. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd go with Le'Veon Bell if he couldn't make it with Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I think almost anybody can run behind our offensive line. I mean, our offensive line is so talented. I think it's kind of hard to miss with our offensive line. It was a punt INT that he missed too. Yeah, kind of a hanger. What's up, Eagles fan? How you doing, man? He said, we're fine at running back. Yeah, I mean, I still think you could use a contact balance back if you can add it, but I kind of agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily overextend myself for anyone at this point. But if you can get a veteran on like a veteran deal that you think could be that contact balance guy, I mean, I could see it, but I think they feel, my guess here, my guess is that they feel very, very comfortable right now with probably playing Boston Scott in that role. The goal line situations, the short yardage stuff. I don't think he's Jordan Howard. I'm going to be upfront. I'm going to be honest about that because I think that is important. But, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, guys. I'm trying to look up missed tackle rates for you. Give me 1 second, and I got to filter it by like 20% or else we'll be way over the place. So P.J. Williams had the highest missed tackle rate. He had a 33% missed tackle rate. He missed 5 missed tackles on the year. Justin Burris was up there. I'm trying to take a look, guys, and see what I can see here. Because I see that question kind of coming up a few times. I'm trying to do the best I can here for you. So Jesse Bates actually had missed 6 tackles at a 16.7, so he had a higher missed tackle rate than actually Jaquiski Tartt. So Tartt, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, man. I mean, he had a 14.3 missed tackle rate. Looks like he missed 6 tackles on the season for 14.3. I don't think it's I wouldn't say that's a glaring, stat line. I don't think that's something to like be overly concerned about. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely an element of him swinging and missing coming down into the box. I mean, Yeah, it doesn't look horrible from what I can see. Our Grady said, has Tart been a free agent this whole offseason? He has, yeah. Oh, Richie said, Gate City, what do you see in the hurdle guy? Devin Allen potentially making the squad. Hard to say. I mean, he's an interesting guy to watch. Depends on how valuable they're going to say special teams play is going to be for this team. I can't predict, how much they're going to want that kickoff return guy, because I think that's what he can do. I mean, special teams production is what he could do for you. He doesn't have, as far as I know, he doesn't have, a tremendous amount of experience returning punts or anything. Mind you got to go back through film from quite some time ago, all the way back to, 2014 kind of time frame up to, 2016. But I didn't notice a ton of snaps playing, punt return or anything like that. I saw a lot of kick return stuff. I do think that he can give you that guy that you can use on bubble screens and tunnel screens as a receiver. The quick kind of game stuff. Use his athletic ability to maybe identify that there's a hole there and then use that crazy athleticism he has. Sure. I mean, I definitely think he can do all those things for you in terms of doing that. Maybe give you a vertical slot element. He's a fast guy. But, trying to judge him as being able to release off the line of scrimmage and beat man coverage and that's kind of complicated because he hasn't played football in a while. So I need to see him in a practice where he can actually be pressed and disrupt his timing coming off the line. You know what I mean? Once I see that, I'll have a pretty good feel of what he is, guys. Alex said, Maddox did talk about in his last presser that if teams are doing 21 personnel, he's usually not on the field. So that's a fair point. Yeah, if they go big nickel. Yeah. Big Play Slay said to a certain extent yes and no based off of physicality, yes, but there's holes pecked in his game. Sorry, Big Play Slay, the writing's really small. But he definitely fits the scheme, so he'll do solid for us if we use him correctly. James said, we really need a running back. What's up, Raphael? How you doing, man? David came in and said, I like the move. It gives Epps competition. If he wins the job, then he deserves it. I think you got 3 solid safeties right now. I think you got 3 dudes that maybe they're not Pro Bowl level caliber players, but you got 3 guys that can play football at a high level right now, in my opinion. And I think that we needed this guy. I mean, when Rodney McLeod kind of walked out, and to be fair, McLeod got paid a little bit by the Colts. But I think that kind of left us with a little bit of a need in the safety room. And I know a lot of you guys desperately want to get younger at that safety position, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. Potentially maybe next offseason where we got, once again, an arsenal of picks. And, I'm sure, right now we're kind of in the red, believe it or not, for 23 in terms of the cap. But Howie will figure it out, guys. There's a few dudes like Slay that can maneuver the contract to make room. They'll figure it out. But right now they are in the red. Mind Design said, who do you think are the most under-the-radar skill position guys that you can see breaking out on both sides of the ball? I'll say under the radar because, the phrase again is under the radar. I don't know if we can qualify Quez as being under the radar right now. But I do think that Zach Pascal on third downs and in the red zone could be better than people understand. Because he's going to give you that size. He's going to help you work the middle of the field with guys like A.J. Brown, guys like Dallas Goedert. He can run in breaking routes for you. He can be physical. So, I mean, in that role, because, I don't think that Quez is like a surprise anymore. I think the word's out that Quez is pretty good. You know what I mean? So, I won't go Quez there. I'll say that, Pascal for his role. And I think it's going to be role-based. Could be quite good. And then if you look at running backs, I'll say that, I know you're – I just stay offense for just one more second here. Kenneth Gainwell, I think, could – I think Kenneth Gainwell could, if he's used correctly, I think something special could be there. Defensively, I'm interested to see what happens with Tay Gowan and McPherson. Tay Gowan and McPherson are the 2 guys that at some point you got to feel comfortable with these guys, right? I mean, James Bradbury's not over the hill or anything, and of course, if he plays well enough, you could probably try to work something out with him, and if he just loves this city, maybe you get something done there, but, Slay's not a young chicken anymore. He's not a young spring chicken, I should say, anymore. But Slay's still a really good football player, but, eventually, you're going to have those answers. And I think that seeing those 2 guys play could do a lot. Show enough said, same Gate City. I thought we should have added Tart earlier. Yeah, I think he's a good, solid football player. R. Gravy said, am I saying the name wrong? I thought it was Jaquiski. Not necessarily, R. Gravy. Don't trust me on the on how to enunciate the letters in his name and how to pronounce that first name. There's a very good chance I'm saying it wrong because I'm not overly familiar. I'm not overly familiar with hearing his name said. I mean, it's a guy that back, coming out of college, I was pretty high on, but that was quite some years ago. Watch for how Eagles fan said, watch for how he make a play for Derwin James next year. I'm telling you. Derwin James is a good player, man. Good player. Whiskey Pop Tart. What's up, Cal Bundy? How you doing, man? R. Grady said, yes, Tart was the one who chased down Quez on that 91-yard play. Michael said, we are officially set at every position now. Gannon better not come out running that Big Ten defense this year. Yeah, R. Gravy, to your point about him running down Quez on that 91-yard play, he also had, I'm pretty sure he was out of bounds when he stripped the ball away from DK Metcalf. But if you go watch the highlight reel of him, I mean, he's a fighter, man. He's a dude that doesn't give up on plays. And guys like that are just easy to root for, man. They're easy to like a lot. Drew said a big problem last year was the pass defense playing together. Hopefully another year with Gannon and the timing will be better. Yeah, Drew, I think there's a few things going on here with the defense. So I'm doing research on a video, and I don't want to give it away. If you guys haven't saw my Josh Sweat video, I did post a video for you guys today. Go watch the Josh Sweat video when we get done with the live stream, guys. It's interesting breaking down this pass rush and kind of what I think might be on the horizon for Josh Sweat. But I'm actually breaking down some further stats, and I'm filtering it by situational football for Jalen Hurts, and I'm compiling some stuff. And there's a few things that are coming out of what I'm learning here that are interesting to me. And I'll just say that we got some things going on here with when I was kind of paying attention to the games and breaking down the film, watching stuff for the Hurts video that I'm putting together coming up. I saw some stuff defensively from Gannon that stood out to me. And one of the things that stood out to me was, although we got really beat early on in the season by guys like Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr and Herbert and Bridgewater, and quite a few guys got us, right? I mean, got us for like ridiculous amounts. If you go back and you look at the dudes that beat us on 70% completion rate, Jimmy G only had 30 attempts. Dak Prescott only had 26 attempts. Patrick Mahomes only had 30 attempts. Derek Carr had 34 attempts. He was under 35 attempts. Jared Goff was under 35 attempts with 34 attempts. He got us for over 70% completion rate. Dak, second game, only 27 attempts. To me, you could see a trend here that if you struggle to stop the run without committing extra guys into the box, you're in trouble in this system. This system that Gannon runs, I think you have to stop the run early in downs. And I thought early in the season you could see those subsequent games with Mahomes and with Brady, with Herbert and with, even going back to like Carr, and we were just having trouble stopping the run, guys. The run was we were leaking against the run, and we just could not get our guys into the gap fits correctly, and it hurt us. It really put teams into very favorable down and distances. And I think that's a big part of this discussion about signing Jaquiski Tartt and all these guys, and kind of like what you can do and how you can thrive and how you can actually be pretty good for the season going forward. I think we're underselling the importance of run fits for this defense and what some guys here can do. I mean, I know Jordan Davis, talking about him being a guy that can two gap for you, a guy that can really make you commit guys to opening up running lanes. You're going to have to double up on him. I know that's not the thing people want to talk about. They want to talk about his ability to pass rush, and I totally get it. I get it, guys. But you want to get people in those third and longs to bring the pass rush, you got to stop the run. We got to stop teams from being able to just move us out of our gaps. Alex said, you're doing a good job keeping up with the comment section, Gate. No worries. I appreciate you guys. There's a lot of you, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and giving me stuff to read, guys, because it makes it a lot easier to do this. I am hip-hop anime lover said, this is a good signing. Yeah, it is. 100%. It's a great signing, man. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, man? Yeet. What's good, bro? He said, we will go after Bates next year when he's a free agent. How he didn't want to give up expensive capital for a potential one-year player. Marcus, what's up, buddy? He said, is an inside power runner needed? Probably depends upon your perspective, right? I mean, if I'm looking at it from the coach's perspective, how do they feel about Boston Scott? Because right now, I know Kenneth Gainwell's not a thumper, guys. I'm not implying that Kenneth Gainwell is some contact-balanced thumper. But he was pretty good at running inside zone, if I'm being honest. He did a really good job, and he found the end zone doing it, to be quite honest. Now, I'm not saying I feel comfortable in a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 where Kenneth Gainwell has to go into contact as that guy being that dude. So, naturally, if you look at the roster, then you're either talking about Miles Sanders being a little bit more accountable to being a one-cut runner and not always looking for the home run and being dependable to just get in there, lower the pads, and get me that 1 yard, which I think he can do. I do think he's got the ability to do it. But it's got to be more consistent. Because outside of that, it's Boston Scott, in my opinion, guys. So how do you feel about those guys in those roles? If you're not comfortable, then, yeah, Marcus, I think you got to go get a Malcolm Brown, or, you got to go get one of these other free agent running backs that has the ability to be a contact balance guy, right? Like Hyde. Hyde could be that kind of player. But I'll be honest, the pickings are kind of slim at this point. There's no doubt about it. Eagles said, we're a little undersized at linebacker, though. To me, if your front can keep you clean, it doesn't matter. That's the thing, Eagles fan, is your front has to keep you clean. And I'll say that Davion Taylor and TJ Edwards showed that they could play the run last year. I thought those two guys did a tremendous job of run defense once they were finally put into games. I think that they read it and they react fast. And I think that's also Nakobe Dean's, that's his strength too, is that he diagnoses, he sees it quickly, he shoots the gap before bigger guys can get up on him and take advantage of him. Now, you're right. If guys start working to the second level on Nakobe Dean, who doesn't have that really long frame, arm reach to stack and shed linemen, then yeah, you're going to want a TJ Edwards in there in that situation. You're going to want guys that are better at run filling. And sure, you can even extend that concern outwards past just Nakobe Dean. I don't think Nakobe Dean is the only guy that's a little undersized for that. But nonetheless, I do think we got guys that see plays quickly and they shoot plays fast. They get to their gap responsibility quickly. Joseph says, smash that like button. It's free. I appreciate you guys. Mind Design said, what's your take on the short practices? I actually made a video about that recently, Mind, and it's hard to weigh in on it. I don't mind the short practices. That doesn't concern me as much as... See, I'm torn in both directions here, guys. Personally, I prefer team drills to individual drills. But you got to run both. Both of them are incredibly important. They both have their roles and their needs. I will say that I'm not too sure how much chemistry is going to matter if you only go OTAs and you have a 6-week break and you go into training camp, right? Because you could theoretically say, like Gate, I mean, how much of that chemistry is going to be remained after 6 weeks is going to be remaining? I don't know. That's the hard thing to say, guys. I mean, that's the difficulty of assessing this, is how comfortable are you with independent individual drills versus team drills? So, like, how do you feel with, guys running, they're working with each position group and each position, coach, instead of working 7-on-7 on 11-on-11. To me, I mean, if you're running 1 hour and 15-minute, practices, but you got, I don't know, 12, 15 practices in the month of June, then I think you're fine. But I think we only had 6, and I think a lot of guys only really attended the first 3, and they weren't there for the back end 3 practices. So I can't say, guys. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a really difficult thing to answer right now. I mean, it could be much ado about nothing. It's hard to say. But, we started off the season slow with a lot of penalties. We were like the most penalized team in the league last year early on. Now, I think what a lot of people would say to kind of counter that point is to say that's true, Gate, but a lot of these dudes are now in the second year in the system. They know it's expected of them. So You know what I mean? I am hip hop said, man, I don't want any excuse from any game this year. Well, I hope not. I hope not. I hope we don't need to provide excuses. I hope we're just there. Alex said, yeah, but we're big up front on the defensive line. Yeah, exactly, Alex. So it makes those gap fits easier for the linebackers. You just got to keep them clean. Show Enough said, last time we made these many moves during the offseason Super Bowl. I'm not saying that's the case this year. Just saying. This is a competitive roster, Show Enough. I get what you're saying. You still need to have special moments to be a Super Bowl contending team. And I think the talent is there. I think we're talented enough. Just got to have those special moments got to occur. Gannon says, nothing in post-game. If it's defense, why we lost. Yeah, I guess sometimes he views it as what's there to say, you know. Yeah, Alex said TJ Edwards isn't undersized, and he'll probably for sure be in there on those short yardage plays. I would think so too, Alex. I would think that he's your Mike in that situation. I think you could play him as the Mike, and you could play, depending on what the coaching staff wants here, to be honest. Because, Alex, I think it's a difficult conversation because I do think that TJ Edwards is clearly your Mike, but then when you get to the will, do you want Nakobe Dean as your will linebacker in those run situations? Davion Taylor was really good against the run last year, so, I mean, he could play your will. I mean, we got guys that can play the role, to be quite honest. Kaiser White, he's undersized, but if you go look at how he played in run down situations, believe it or not, Kaiser White was actually pretty good for an undersized guy. Sometimes it's just about being tough. You know, Brian Dawkins isn't a big dude. He just was tough, man. You know, at the end of the day, Dawkins was, 210 to 215-ish? He was just tough. You know, Doc was tough, man. He was tough. He was a real tough guy. And sometimes it's about, you know, the personality of the guy and how they play in those situations. Bring back Howard again. Cohen just tore his hamstring. He might have shown up that you might be 1,000% right there. I haven't really kept with him. I haven't kept up with him even though he's an NCAA guy here from Greensboro. I haven't really kept up with him, but it would make sense to why he got released. R. Gravy said we need another defensive end, maybe a running back. I'm curious, R. Gravy. I'm thinking they might play Milton Williams outside a little bit at defensive end when they want to get big on the line of scrimmage. Oh, and Achilles. Oof. Yeah, if he's Achilles, then yeah, he's not even in the running. And that's horrible because I really like Tariq Cohen a lot, and I liked him a lot when he played over here at NCAA. So that's a really unfortunate if that's true. And I'm going to assume you guys looked it up, so it's probably true. Joseph said we need to bring Howard back. Look, I've always been a Jordan Howard guy, but it seems like every time he gets into a rhythm and he starts to kind of build that, and you're like, oh man, we got something going here with Jordan Howard in this 1-2 running back combination thing, he gets hurt. I don't know how much more we can take of that. I mean, and it's unfortunate because he fits what we do so well. It's just a really unfortunate situation with Jordan Howard. Sharon said Kareem Hunt would be a great addition, but I'm cool with the running back room. Yeah, Kareem Hunt's a good player. I think Kareem Hunt's a good fit for pretty much every team. Alex said, I want to treat Cohen with that pick we took Mac Hollins. Cohen went the pick right after, and then we took Donnell Pumphrey. Yeah, I don't want to bring up Donnell Pumphrey. That's going to bring up nightmares. Shonoff said, that's facts. It's a shame, too, because he's definitely an impact player. He is. He's a good player, guys. Tariq Cohen was a good player. It's a shame what happened to him. It really is. Carl, what's up, Carl? How you doing? There's a lot of you guys chiming in. What's up, Drew? How you doing, man? What's up, Bri? Bri likes Gainwell a lot. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch a few of you guys that I haven't read your comments yet. I'm trying to get down to you. Paul Robinson, what's good, man? Where's Jordan Howard? I think he's a phone call away, Paul, to be honest. I think that I haven't heard that he signed anywhere, and I don't think he's probably going to have the opportunity because of the injury history. So if he ends up back in the league, I would take a wild guess that the reason he'd be back in the league is because, the familiarity with this coaching staff. BZ Mars said he thinks there'll be 4 backs with Miles, Kenneth Gainwell, Scott, and you like Kennedy Brooks, the undrafted rookie free agent out of Oklahoma. Good player. Yeah, he's a one-cut runner. He's definitely a one-cut runner. Kara said, yeah, I'm super biased about him, so I try not to throw out many opinions. It's all good. We all have biases, Kara. Don't worry about that. Might as well speak it into facts. Hang on. I just saw my guy Spike, and I can't find his comment now. Where did it go? Spike, I'm sorry, man. Oh, there you are. What's up, Gates? The team is looking impressive. Absolutely, 100%. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get to some of your comments, but I swear every time I go to look at the comment, it ends up jumping down on me. And Paul said, how about them Eagles? Yeah. David, what's good, man? He said, this is a new year. Hey, I'm liking this new year. I'm liking this new era so far in Eagles football. This is definitely a lot of feel-good around the team right now, man. Wilt, what's up, Wilt? How you doing, bro? He said, I would start Tart and Epps. Happy Father's Day, y'all. What's up, Richie? Well, Richie's been in the chat. The Birdman said, whether Tart is coming in to start or for depth, I really like this signing. Only makes us better. Yeah, I think it's a lot of our perspective is that we're better with him than without him. That's definitely for sure. I think Alex said that earlier, that he's one of these guys that makes you better no matter if he starts or if he's in a role. Yeah, Doc was a monster, no doubt about it, guys. Yeah, Doc was still one of my all-time favorites, man. No, the Birdman. We don't know how much money he's getting, unfortunately, man. Jeremiah, what's good, buddy? He says B-Dog Hart was oversized. Man, B-Dog was just nuts, bro. I mean, one of my favorite players to watch all time. I mean, I was always like a really big fan of Eric Allen and Andre Waters and those 90 Eagle teams. But to be fair, I was also really, really young. So I was older, and I had a lot more experience playing football, and I had just started coaching football around the time that, well, no, I mean, Doc had been in the league for a while when I started actually coaching, but, you know, I knew a little bit more about football when Doc was really playing, so, I mean, I just kind of gravitated more towards him because I could truly understand just how special Doc was as a player. G-Dragon, what's good, buddy? How you doing, man? Truck drivers love you. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Alex says that Anthony Harris probably has the best understanding of what Gannon is trying to do of any safety in that room. Yeah, Alex, that's my thoughts too. I mean, if he gets outplayed, he gets outplayed. I don't think that would save him, but he's probably going to have a leg up early just because he's going to understand exactly what Gannon wants done. Irish Steve said, please remember to push that like button, everyone. Only 22 likes and there's 75 current views. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all. B-Dog still has a bigger heart with what the stuff he's doing for mental health. Love that guy. Yeah, man. Dude's crazy, man. Hardest hitting safety ever is Dawkins. Yeah, Joseph. I grew up during that John Lynch and Brian Dawkins era of football, which was, you know, man, just Ed Reed, John Lynch, Brian Dawkins, Palomalu. Like, there was some enforcers, some punishers back in that time frame. Paul said, I played rugby, and when you have an animal like A.J. Brown, it brings out the animal in the rest. I think it rubs off on Devontae. That receiving core is going to be special to watch, guys. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Shonuff said, we must press, then press again. Be in unison with the D-line. Appreciate you, Shonuff. He's quoting something from the video I put out today. Palomalu, Sanders, Dawkins. That was a great era for hard-hitting safeties. Yeah, it's just a lot of dudes that could play, man. Bird 31, what's good, man? How you doing, bro? Kenzo, what's good, man? He says, now we have a true box safety. Got a dude that can play, no doubt about it, man. Alex said, there's 86 likes. 88 now, guys. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you guys. Xavier said, what's Kevin King doing? He can be converted to a safety too. I think the safety depth's getting a lot better, to be honest. But Kevin King, you know, he's a big dude. I mean, if you want that veteran outside corner with size, I mean, you could look into that. But I think they're feeling pretty comfortable about what they have now. Almost 90 likes now. Appreciate you guys. Let's get it to 100. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys. That'd be awesome. The Birdman said, Gate, I need you to come on the Dan Cilio show and tell Big Seals that Hurts is going to ball out. He hasn't contacted me, but if he does, I would agree to it. Joseph said, I grew up in that era also. I'm 45. Hey, Joseph, you got me beat by a couple of years, but yeah, man, I mean, I love that era, man. The Muddy Waters. I mean, it's sad how everything ended with Muddy Waters, with Andrew Waters, man. I mean, you know, being down, I lived in Raleigh at the time all that went down. You know, I wish he didn't check out of life that way, man, because, you know, he was beloved in Raleigh, he was beloved in Philly and, you know, South Jersey and Delaware as well, man. And, you know, he's one of those good guys, man. He really was. I hate it. I hate that, yeah. I miss Lehigh training camps. My basketball camp was there at the same time every year, and we got to hang with the team occasionally. Yeah, different experience when you actually had to go away for camps. You're right. It was completely different. What's up, Dave? What's good, bro? My guy Dave Dustin here, man. He said I left you a message on Instagram, brother. My bad, Dave. I'll check out Instagram. I haven't logged in a while, man, but I'll check it out, bro. BirdGang31 says, what is your top 3 impact players for this year's team, Gate? Top 3 impact. Jalen Hurts has to be on that list, man, because all this offensive stuff doesn't matter unless Jalen Hurts is the guy, and I believe he's the guy, so that makes him one of those top 3 impact players in my opinion. Past that, I'm going to say defensively, I got to go with the big guy, Jordan Davis, man. I don't know how much he's going to play. I think it's going to be a decent amount, but I think he's so pivotal to the early down run fits and how you get teams into favorable third and longs and how you can bring the pressure package. You can do those things. I think Jordan Davis is important. I just don't, you know, that's the thing is I don't know how much some of these guys are going to play. I don't know the role that's going to be played here. And then I just think you can plug and play anybody in here, man. A.J. Brown is incredibly important. You know, you can put so many people as that third guy. I mean, A.J. Brown's going to give you a lot of physicality. Devontae Smith, I think, is going to be your volume catcher. I think he's going to be the guy that has the really, really large catch numbers out there, right? I think that, you know, Jason Kelsey, in terms of the run game and what he's going to be able to do and that pull and pin roll that Kelsey does, he's going to be a big-time, you know, guy for this team. You know, you look at Javon Hargrave, man. If you got guys that now you just cannot double to Hargrave anymore, Hargrave is a freaking disruptor, guys. I got to say things a certain way so I don't get demonetized, but he's a disruptor. I mean, Hargrave could be that fit. You know, Bradbury is a CB number 2, making you feel more comfortable with playing those corners down closer to the line of scrimmage. He could be that. You know, Tart and Epps and you know, what they can do here with along with Anthony Harris and being able to play your safeties more freely in the box when you want to rock them in the box. You know, when you just want to disguise stuff. Now you theoretically you got the safety depth to do these things. Like, I just think you could take this argument, you could take that third guy into so many different ways. I really do. 94 likes now, 97, 102 likes currently, guys. Man, I appreciate you guys so much, man. Thank you, guys. Mallory, what's good? She said Sean Taylor was one of the best in upcoming safeties before he passed. Yeah, I had my brother-in-law at the time, man. He took Sean Taylor's passing hard, and he's an Eagles guy too, but he just really loved the way Sean Taylor played the game. And, yeah, that was just such a crazy way to leave life, and he was so young. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are counting down the likes. I appreciate y'all, man. Sorry, guys. Let me jump down a little bit. You guys got it over 100 likes, man. Y'all are awesome. We're at 107 currently, guys. You guys are awesome, man. Did you just call me old? Well, Joseph, you're old. I am too, so I'm going to say you're a young man. What's good, chat? Where's my wrench, Gate? Give me a second, man. Let me see if I can't go ahead and wrench you up real fast. Boom. There you go, Bird Gang. You got a wrench, bro. Alex said, I used to wake up early in the mornings on the West Coast to watch live streams of Lehigh practice on the Eagles' official site. Those were the days. Yeah, man, it's crazy that, you know, things are just so different now. But I remember the year we brought Ricky Waters in. My dad actually took me and my 2 brothers down to see him. And I remember the big, like, commotion about trying to like get up there and pay attention to like, you know, what car is he coming in? Look for the California plates and all that stuff, man. I miss Lehigh. I miss having camps away from the facility. And I know that you can do more when you're at the facility from like a sports science and like nutrition standpoint and all that kind of stuff. All those advanced analytic things that can come into play. But I get it. I get that there's a reason why, man. But you know how it is, guys. The game changes. Just some of us we're slow to change with it. Yeah, Alex said now we barely get any access to training camp besides some beat reporters' tweets, and there aren't even doing 2 or 3 open practices at the link. Just 1 this year. Yeah. Bergang said he's got Davis, A.J. Brown, and Dean. Tavern Mike said, thing I loved about Andre Waters is that you might be able to beat him, but if you did, he would at least make sure he hurt you and punished you all game in the process. 100%, man. I miss guys like that used to play with, you know, on fire like that, man. Alex said, don't forget Riddick, too. Yep, happy Pappy's Day. Jeremiah's funny, man. 2 on me, someone free Jordan Davis. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, Carrie, you're right. Hargrave is so quick off the ball. He is, Alex, man. That initial release, man, I didn't realize how fast he was until I watched the film, and I was like, oh. I had a belief about him, Alex, because he was coming out of that Pittsburgh system, and he played a lot of nose two-gap for them. And I was like, oh, like, you know, he's probably going to be one of these strong run defenders. And truth be told, he's not actually that great at run defense. He's okay. He's not great at it, though. He's, you know, I'd say average to even probably arguably maybe just a tick below average if I'm being honest about it. But in terms of his pass rush ability, A+, man. Slow-mo, what's up, Slow-mo Ewing? How you doing, bro? Alex said, I don't know if you watch or have checked out Louis T. Yeah, I know who Louis T is. But I told him about Gate City Sports, and he said, you should do a collab because you are 2 of the smartest NFC East YouTubers. Yeah, I'm always down to collab, man. I don't mind collabing with Louis T. Yeah, I know who Louis T is, man. He's a good content creator. I like Louis. Ronnie, we are loaded on both sides of the ball and got to be the best. This has to be the best offseason ever that you've ever seen from the Eagles. Got you, man. Let's go Birds, Bird Gang. Yeah, man, I love what we've done so far. Kara said, oh, I didn't realize there was only 1 public practice this year. Yeah, I think, how many did they have last year, Alex? Was it 2? I can't, they've been decreasing them every year. Alex, I think you two collabing on a live stream would be great for both fan bases and create lots of smart, interesting football discussion regarding the division and where things are at. Yeah, I'll hit him up. I'll see if I can't get a touch with him on like Twitter or something. I'll hit him up. Jeremiah said, yeah, I rocks with Louis heavy. Very knowledgeable about the landscape of the league. Yeah, I like a few of those guys that cover content for the Washington. They're not the football team; they're the Commanders now. Louis T's really good. My guy Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver's a real cool guy, man. I like Ed Oliver a lot. They got another guy. What's his name? Like Pedro Schmidt or something like that. He's pretty good too. There's a few of them that are pretty decent. What's up, William? How you doing, bro? He said Andre Waters could lay the wood too. He could cover and play the run well. Yeah, Andre Waters was one of my favorites. And I said I was really young back then, but like that was like when I was really in my bag back then, man. That's when like I lived and breathed sports, man. I mean, I remember just like staying up. I used to have the old Walkman radio cassettes. Like it was a hand-me-down from my uncle. And I took his because my uncle Dave and I were not that far apart in age, and I took his Walkman set. I remember, man, I used to sit up and listen to the games, man. You know, be like a school night at like 10:30 and I'm listening to a Phillies game, man. My mom and dad used to get so mad at me. They used to be ticked. Louis is a GOAT. Been subbed to him since like 2013, 2014. Well, I didn't know Louis has been making content that long. That's impressive. That's a long streak, man. Bird Gang said, Gate is a GOAT. I'll be there soon. 100%, Bird Gang. Just keep plugging away, man. You're doing your thing. You're putting out quality content, man. I love watching y'all's channel. I was actually watching one of the shows you had with You just posted recently, man, where you guys were just talking about your top three. You guys were kind of going over that topic, man. It was a pretty good show. Yeah, last year was 2 open practices, and before it was like 3. Sucks that it's been going away. Yeah, I get they want to be secretive about things. I understand it, but I mean, for the fans' perspective, man, it just, it used to really get you in the mindset of it being like football season. The Birdman said it's crazy to think that we made all these moves and we have $30 million in dead cap this season, and we got 2 first-round picks next year. Yeah, we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna definitely have an interesting offseason again next year too. I agree. Joseph said Ed Oliver is really good. Yeah, I like Ed, man. Ed's a good guy. Bergan said Corey Warpath is a great commander podcaster. I'll have to check him out, Bergan. I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with him, but I'll definitely check him out. Alex said, I love the roundtables. Louis used to do these amazing breakdowns where he would cover every team pick, but having the Twins has caused him to be more preoccupied. Yeah, I can understand when you got kids, man. Yeah, it kind of takes away your priorities a little bit, right? Master Bean said, what's next, the tight end number 2? I don't know how they feel about tight end number 2. It's an interesting question. I mean, I like Calcaterra, but, I mean, he's more of a receiving threat. I don't think he's, we got to see him in the field in blocking situations. I thought that there's something to be developed there in terms of that. Jack Stoll's a really, really good run block, or a really good pass pro, not run blocker. Jack Stoll was really good in pass pro. What's his name? The guy that we cut that one year, then he signed with the Colts, and then we signed him back. I can't think of his name right now, guys. It's slipping my mind, but he's a really, really good in terms of the run block. I don't know if he'll make the team, though. Maybe a practice squad guy, possibly. Alex said, I really don't follow any Giants YouTubers besides Bad Dog. Yeah, I don't know a lot of them either, to be honest. Sometimes it's just coincidence of who crosses your feeds. You know what I mean? Like, it's just whoever it is that's going to come across your feed is kind of who you follow. Alex said, Giants and Cowboys have some of the best content provided to the fans of any teams in the league. Thankful for that, for sure. Eagles and Cowboys, Alex, is that what you're trying to say? Got you. Kara, what's up, guy? How you doing, bro? Kara said, I don't watch anyone besides Eagles content creators. I've got kids to argue with if I want to argue. I watch some of the content just because there are some quality content creators out there that provide in-depth breakdowns of things, and you can get you can learn a lot about other division opponents and stuff. I don't watch a lot of Mark's a good guy and everything. Mark Holmes, I know he's friends with Philly 500. I don't get an opportunity to watch a lot of his stuff, but Cowboys Fan Talk CFT, I watch his. I watch Rome. He's pretty decent. I watch a few guys from the Cowboys side of things. What's up, Kurt? How you doing, man? Eagles fan said Tyree was at OTAs. That's a good sign then, Eagles fan. If Tyree Jackson is at least present. I don't know when he's going to be healthy, though, enough to get involved in, contact. He's got to get cleared for that, and that might take some time, man. Backyard Birds podcast. What's good, man? How you doing, bro? Jack stole all the way, Tavern Mike said. Jeremiah said, I'd like for them to take a look at Trey Burton. Noah Togiai. Yeah, Alex, thank you. Yeah. Noah to go, as they call him, yeah. Yeah, Noah Togiai. Yeah, he's a pretty good run blocker. PTA Sports with the Giants is awesome. Bird 31, you're pretty plugged in, man. I'm going to just start asking you to tell me who to go watch. You're plugged in, man. I'll give you that. Eagles fan said, Bad Dog is the only Giants YouTuber I watch. Christy Entertainer. Yeah, I think I've seen Christy Entertainer a few times. Joseph said, Burgang did put Giants and awesome in the same sentence. Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, McPherson. For the corners? Yeah. Kara said, I get annoyed at them too easily to watch. Tavern Mike said, who you got for the fifth corner? I think just judging without them really seeing them play on, real like 11 on 11 drills and in like joint practices yet, I would say that Tay Gowan probably has a leg up on the competition right now. But there's a lot of people, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of like Jimmy Moreland being on the team, right? I think they have interest in a few different guys. I like Mario Goodrich a lot, but he's that's an undrafted rookie free agent. He's got a lot to prove, and I think that ideally undrafted rookie free agents, if you're the Eagles, you like to develop those kind of guys on the practice squad. So they got to really play above and beyond to clear it and make your team. There's a lot of numbers in the secondary, man. I think Tay Gowan has the early lead, although Jimmy Moreland I'm interested in to see how he kind of fits there. I also think that there's a possibility they might go 6, at the cornerback position, just because corners are really important to special teams as well. So I can see them keeping 6. Eagles fan said Turi had on a pad and a brace. He was a participant. Joseph said, I like to tell Mark Holmes he's a bum, but that's about it. Y'all are funny, man. Backyard Bird said, I think Bradbury is going to have a sneaky good year or two. Yeah. Yeah, James Bradbury's good, man. He's a good ball player, Backyard Birds. Slow-Mo said, I was fortunate enough to be at a lot of games at the vet. Your content was needed back then for sure. Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Yeah, Slow-Mo. I remember the vet too, man. I used to go there for a lot of Phillies games. My mom wasn't really down for letting me go to the vet for Eagles games when I was really young, but yeah, man, the vet was it was our house, man. It was our house. It was a crapshoot, man. I still remember. You guys remember that Brian Belichick game where he came out in the preseason? I think it was the 2003 or the 4 season where he came out and they had the divot in the turf, and he was like, "Yo, my guys are gonna play on this. What are you doing?" I remember that, man. That was that was a funny moment. Joseph said he went to the final game in the vet. Tavern Mike said, I think Matt McCain could be the guy if he's as good on special teams as they say he is. He was pretty good at A&T, man, and he'll jump a route. That's the one thing he will do, man. We got a Niner fan in the building. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read chats. They're going quickly. Niners by Nature said, congratulations, Eagle fans. Y'all got a stud. Appreciate you, Niners by Nature. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I was hoping the Eagles signed him earlier in the year, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Earlier in the offseason, I should say. Joseph said, I'll have to check him out, Bird Gang. Alex said, how is Hufanga? Is that how you say his name, Alex? Is it Hufanga? Looking. USC fan here. Does he have the inside track to start next to Ward? Jalen Hurts is an MVP candidate. I like it, Bird Gang 31. That would mean that we're definitely in a good spot if that becomes true. Mr. 89 said, I like the signing. He took accountability for that drop pass versus the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Shows character. Yeah, Mr. 89, that impressed the crap out of me, too, the way he admitted, like, hey, man, I messed up. He basically said I should have secured that, and he took it on himself that, basically we're home watching a Super Bowl because I didn't do my job in that situation. Yeah, I agree. Joseph said, let's hope so, Bird Gang. Niners by Nature said, Alex, yes, health is a concern, but when he is healthy, the dude is a baller. He's smart, fast, and he hits hard. Yeah. Tavern said, I saw Von Hayes hit a home run at the old vet. Yeah. Man, you're going back, Von Hayes. You're really taking me back, man. Man, that 93 season, man, that 93 World Series. Tavern, that still hurts, bro. Joe Carter, man. Never had my heart ripped out like that before, bro. I was just a kid, man, and I remember I would rather be punched in the face than have to go through that again, man. Joe Carter, ripped my heart out as a kid, man. That whole Mitch Williams, Joe Carter. And then they made a commercial together later on. I didn't find that commercial too funny. Yeah, that was tough, man. Bird Gang said, sleeper player that no one is talking about that will ball, Gate. Sleeper player that will ball. Whew. Sleeper player. I'll give you one. Situationally. This is put it in the context of it being a situational thing. Milton Williams. There's going to be a lot of attention spent on other guys. And I don't know how many snaps Milton Williams is going to get because you got Brandon Graham. You got Josh Sweat. They did bring back Derek Barnett, although I know we all feel a certain way about him. But he's going to clearly be in part of a rotation to an extent. You got, in terms of your interior defensive lineman, now you got, Jordan Davis. You got Fletcher Cox. You got, Javon Hargrave. I don't know how many snaps Milton Williams is going to get. But he's good off the line as well. Milton Williams, to me, has some Javon Hargrave to his game. He's fast. A little faster than Javon Hargrave, to be honest, off the snap. Just not the same technician yet. He's a guy, man, that if you let him go unnoticed, man, on some third and longs in the pass rush situations, whew, man. Backyard Bird said, I was there for... Yeah. I don't want to read that one again, man. That killed me. Tavern Mike said, Dykstra, Kruk, Dalton. Yeah, Dutch Dalton, man. Dutch Dalton's still one of my favorite players of all time. Kurt Schilling. That's definitely going back to Kurt. That team was so awesome. Jeremiah Butler's talking about Kobe. Punt returner, I think, is where he would stick if he made it. But, yeah, he's a small, little, twitchy slot guy. Hard to say it's hard to say how these guys are going to stack up, Jeremiah, until we put pads on them and we see them in camp. Backyard Bird said it's a small world. Monroe Hatcher, what's good, man? He said, what's good, Gate? I like this signing. I'm starting Tart and Epps. Harris to the Pine. Devin Allen. Some of you guys like that. Yeah, you're talking about like surprise player that nobody sees coming. Kick returner. I think that would be Devin Allen's role. I mean, he could, if you're talking about field position, guys like that definitely help you with field position. And that's more important than I think it's given credit for, man. No doubt about it. Sack that like button. Appreciate you, Niner, by nature. Appreciate you, bro. Niner said, don't be surprised if Jalen Hurts has a Pro Bowl year. Talent's around him. We're hopeful. I mean, he's got to go prove it on the field, but the talent's there, and we know that young man will work for it. It's the one thing I don't, I don't doubt about him. Alex said, I'm excited about Caleb and Malachi in the pipeline. Not sure how many wins we'll get this year because we still need to beef up the trenches, but I'm pumped. That team was stacked, Joseph saying. Yeah, it was. Milton was top 5 in pressures. I could see if he gets more comfortable from the pocket. Yeah, Jalen. Yeah, he's got to play. He's got to get the offense into a rhythm. You guys think at least 9 wins? Alex said, I want to see Devin Allen win Worlds. Hurricanes going to win the national championship. What's up, Witch King of Agmar? How you doing, man? We're drafting Will Anderson next year. Mike Schmidt. What's up, Slow-Mo? Yeah, Mike Schmidt. Yeah, that was 80s, but yeah. One of my uncles gave me a bunch of Mike Schmidt stuff, man. Tavern Mike said, imagine if Devin Allen turned into a return weapon that could get you points off of field position. What a boost that would be. Yeah, you're right. I mean, flipping field position is important. Tito, what's good, buddy? He says, how good is this new safety? He's a pretty good player, man. He's a solid player. He's a guy that gives you versatility. He can play in the box. He can play over the top. He's got something to prove. I think he feels a certain way about dropping that interception in the NFC Championship game, and I think he wants to redeem himself in that way. I like guys that are coming in, with, something to prove. I mean, especially when you got a veteran guy and they feel like they got something to prove. Nina said, my mom said we appreciate you too. She said you are really good at this. Thank you. Tell your mom I really appreciate that. Alex said Will Anderson is going to make some teams very happy. One of the best pass rushers to come out in the last decade. It was pretty good last year, Alex. I mean, he was pretty devastating. Alex said he's expecting between 10 and 12 wins for the Eagles. Hopefully, yeah. Mike Schmidt, greatest third baseman of all time, offense and defense. Tavern Mike, do you remember Scott Rowland, the early 2000s? Early to mid 2000s. It sucks that he left and went to the Cardinals, man, but he had talent for a long time, man. We could never just put the team together when he was here. He was a little cocky, though, too, man. I don't think he was the most endearing to fans. Niner by Nature said at Tito Rios, bro, Tart is a stud. He just needs to stay healthy. Backyard Birds podcast said I'd rather see Covey on the return. Covey's not really a kick returner like Devin Allen is. Covey's more of a punt returner. You could theoretically, Backyard Birds podcast. My bad, bro. Theoretically, you could work both and just kind of see how they do in each role. The problem is I don't know how many guys you're going to keep at wide receiver and you know what I mean, even if you keep a 6, it's just tough, guys. It's tough. We got to see them in camp. Tavern Mike said, speaking of pass rushers, what about Robert Quinn? Big contract. Big time production, though, too, man. He had a heck of a season last year. Slow-mo said, I just hope our defense is aggressive. Yeah. Rest in peace, Bud Carson. Message from a golden eagle. Wings up, Gate City. With our O-line, Hurts can actually take his time in the pocket and pick his poison. EAGLES Eagles. Hey, bro. I think we got something starting to build here that's special, Golden Eagle. I do. Tavern Mike said, rolling nowhere near Schmitty, though. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Schmitty's one of the all-time greats for the game, period. Yeah, no doubt about it. Jeremiah Butler said Covey is a smart guy. He was allowed to scheme with his coordinator. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, though, because, I think somebody else, I can't remember who it was. I want to give credit where it's due. But it might have been Rube. Might have been Rube or, I don't know. I don't know who said it. Might have been the Eagle Eye podcast, guys, but they were talking about how, Covey's like 25, and then Devin Allen's like 27. So, you kind of have to produce now if you're those guys. It's kind of now or never, you know what I mean, with those guys. But those are good ball players, guys. Niner by Nature said at Gay City, who is your sleeper pick to show out this year? On the Eagles in general, I'm excited about the opportunities that A.J. Brown is going to afford Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith's going to eclipse 1,000 yards receiving. I don't know how, I'll just start with 1,000. I mean, he was almost there at 900 last year, but I think he's definitely going to eclipse 1,000 yards with A.J. Brown in the fold, and I think he's going to be a volume catcher. So I think he's going to have the numbers that if you're looking at those baseline numbers, right, you're not filtering by more situational stuff and getting into more of the deeper analytics, I think he's going to have those kind of those attributes to him to where because of A.J. Brown and the attention he's going to, cause defenses to have to pay to him, I think Devontae Smith's in for a really big year. But I can see the argument of someone saying in order for Devontae Smith to have that year, that means the quarterback and Jalen Hurts is going to have a pretty spectacular year too. So, I think there's going to be a couple of elements to this team that's going to play really well. I do. Our defense is hard to say just because a lot of those guys, Niners by nature, they're veterans. We got some young guys we've added to the defense, but you look at the outside starting corners with Slay and Bradbury. Those are established guys. I mean, Marcus Epps, with Tart being added to the secondary, you can say that allows Epps to just really play freely, and maybe he could have a big jump forward, and he could be a guy that you hear his name called a lot. So I can see him kind of having an impact. I know a lot of guys are really pumped about Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis, so those are the names that really stand out to me. Jeremiah said, Gate, I'd like your opinion on the video where Covey is breaking down his 15 punt returns he sent to teams. I'll try to look it up, Jeremiah. I'll try to find it. And I guess I can do kind of like a video like I did when I did the Kurt Warner video. I can pull it up on the screen, listen to what he's saying, and then pause it and talk to everybody. Yeah, I'll do something like that, man. Dr. Q68, what's good, bro? He said, happy Father's Day in advance, Coach. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the chat, guys, and everybody watching at home. Tyra Mike said, Edwards, White, and Dean with Reddick rushing the passer is intriguing to me. Dean is my standout. That's what Joseph said. All right, guys. Hour and a half. I'm going to have to jump off here in a minute because I've already made a video today and I did the live. I just wanted to come on. I wanted to talk to you guys, man. Being the weekend and stuff, us getting, Tart in here as a safety, like, I'm pumped, guys. I'm pumped, man. I really, really like what's going on. I really like the direction of this team right now. I think that we're putting the pieces together to potentially have a very, very, successful year, to be quite honest, guys. I'm real happy with everything, guys. I really am. I think this has been a great offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, y'all, if you guys have not had an opportunity to go watch the video I broke down on Josh Sweat, I got a video down there breaking down some of his advanced analytics, guys. Let me know what you think about it. We got a few guys that already chimed in and, gave input on how they feel that scheme could dictate how successful ultimately Josh Sweat might be, depending on if we run a lot of 34 front, what could be, what kind of impact could that have on Sweat's production. It's been a productive conversation in the chat, honestly, in that video, guys. Hey, guys, good night, all of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Enjoy your Friday night. I'll get a video out or we'll do a live stream again tomorrow. I'll do one or the other, guys. All right, y'all. Thank y'all.